So I'm gonna put my transparency, it's clear, on top of my image, okay? And if you wanna use a piece of tape, just one to tape it down so it stays, then you can. And I'm gonna take a thick Sharpie. And the first thing I'm gonna do is kind of get the outline of my animal. Okay. So I'm just tracing the outline. I'm not adding any details. I'm not going to be making lines or anything. I'm just getting the shape down. Okay, so there's my outline, just the outline. Now I'm going to go in and get the major details, Now, not every little tiny thing, okay, but I want to get the major shape so that I know kind of what this is. I might get like the gills there, just so I know. Kind of the body of the fish changes there. There's a big shadow there. So I might get that down. Anytime there's a dark spot, I'm probably going to just outline it. Okay, because it'll kind of give me some details to work with. Okay, that's a pretty big shadow there, so I'll outline that. Okay, so I might come in here a little bit. Now you see it's not exact, it just kind of gives you an idea of what's happening on the inside of the fish, okay? It's not exact, but when I take this away now, you'll see that it's clearly a fish, right? Okay, so that's the first step. The second thing you're going to do is you are going to take your image now that you have it on clear transparency and it's a Sharpie, it's nice and clean, and we're going to use oil pastel again, okay, to create the color. Now, there we go. The really cool thing about using oil pastel on a transparency is you don't need to work to blend it. It all blends really well. Can I get a solid white piece of paper, please? So, you're going to take your oil pastel. And you're going to put a piece of white paper behind it. And I do that just because it's easier to see what I'm doing on white, okay? And I'm going to open up my oil pastels. You guys have the bags. And I'm going to decide what colors I want to work with. Now remember, when we work with colors, we have to use the rule of 3, right? 3 colors together on the color wheel. So I'm going to take pink, red violet, and violet. And those are going to be my fish. And I'm just going to go ahead and start putting some color down. This is where all my dark spots are on my image. So I'm going to go ahead and add those in. And it just really just is super smooth. Okay, but I want to make sure it's as solid as I can get it. I keep bumping my camera. Okay, now the cool part comes in when I start to blend it. So I'm going to add, oh, I want something more red than that. Let's see. I'm going to add my red now, and I can go right over that purple, and I want to try to stay inside the lines as best I can. And then I can go back with that purple and kind of blend everything together. See how it's starting to blend together? You don't have to take your finger and rub it like you did with the paper. As long as your colors are next to each other on the wheel, they can overlap and they're going to blend together really well. Remember, you also have white that you can work with. So if I want to lighten up that pink in some areas, I can do that with my white. Now don't worry about going over any of the areas with Sharpie, or going over the areas that have Sharpie on them, because I'll show you what's going to happen. Look what happens there. That's so cool. See how that white is kind of pulling that pink out? So now I'm making this like lighter pink that I didn't even have before. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that for my entire image. If you want to add other details in the water, seaweed, okay, then you do the water, obviously. So we're gonna fill the whole transparency, and what we're gonna be looking at when we're all done is the opposite side. Okay, you see that? So this is the side that we color on and draw on, but this is the side that we're gonna display when we're done. And so it is gonna look like this. I'm going to turn the light off so you can see it. Okay, there's my finished image. Okay, now again, you don't have to do a fish. You can find any line drawing on your computer and do that. But this is just giving you an idea of what the finished project will look like. So drawing on one side, oil pastels on one side. We're all done. We're going to flip it over. Okay, but not until we're all done. So all of our work, all of our magic happens here, okay?